Level 1. Aspiring entrepreneur. You have an idea. It is not a company yet. It is not generating revenue. It is just a thought that keeps returning to your mind. You notice problems that other people ignore. You see things that could be improved, a service that could be faster, a product that could be better, a process that could be simpler. At this stage, most people only think about possibilities. You start researching, you watch videos, read books, study successful founders, and learn how businesses actually work. You begin understanding that entrepreneurship is not just about having a creative idea, it is about solving a real problem for real people. You begin asking different questions, not, how can I make money, but, what problem can I solve? Who needs this solution? Why would someone choose my business over another? Your first challenge is not competition, it is uncertainty. You have no customers, no team, no reputation, no proof that your idea will work. You might spend nights planning, building, and learning while nobody knows what you are creating. At this level, success is not measured by revenue. It is measured by action, because an idea has no value until someone turns it into reality. And once you stop only thinking and start building, you move to the next level. You are no longer just imagining a business, you are becoming an entrepreneur. Level 2. Early entrepreneur. You launch your first version. It may be a simple website, a small product, a freelance service, or a basic solution you created yourself. Your first customers arrive. Maybe one person buys from you, maybe 5, maybe 10. The numbers are small, but something important happens. The market responds. For the first time, you learn that entrepreneurship is not about proving your idea is perfect. It is about discovering what people actually want. You start talking to customers, you collect feedback, you improve your product, you learn sales, marketing, pricing, and customer psychology. You realize that building something is only half the battle. Getting attention is another challenge. A great product that nobody knows about cannot survive. You begin experimenting with different strategies: social media, advertising, partnerships, content, networking. You make mistakes. You price your product incorrectly. You target the wrong customers. You spend money on things that do not create results. But every mistake teaches you something valuable. At this stage, your business is fragile. Revenue is inconsistent. Growth depends heavily on your personal effort. If you stop working, the business slows down. But something has changed. You are no longer guessing. You are learning from reality. And once your business starts becoming predictable, you move to the next level. You stop chasing opportunities. You start building a system. Level 3. Business builder. Your business begins generating consistent revenue. Customers are returning. People are recognizing your brand. The biggest change is that you are no longer focused only on survival. You are focused on growth. You start documenting processes. How do you acquire customers? How do you deliver your product? How do you maintain quality? How do you train someone else to do what you do? Because you discover an important truth: a business cannot grow if everything depends on one person. You begin hiring your first employees or contractors. You delegate tasks. You create systems. You track important numbers: revenue, profit margins, customer acquisition cost, retention rate. You stop making decisions based only on feelings. You start making decisions based on data. Your role begins changing. In the beginning, you were the person doing everything. Now you become the person designing how everything works. But growth creates new problems. More customers mean more responsibility. More employees mean more management. More revenue means more financial decisions. The challenges become bigger because the business itself has become bigger. And when your company reaches a point where growth requires leadership, not just effort, you move to the next level. Level 4. Growth entrepreneur. Your company is no longer a small operation. You have a team. You have established products or services. You have a market presence. Now the question changes. It is no longer, can this business survive? The question becomes, how large can this become? You begin focusing on expansion, new markets, new products, strategic partnerships, brand development. You invest more into marketing, technology, and operations. You begin building departments instead of relying on individuals. Sales becomes a system, hiring becomes a system, customer service becomes a system. You learn that growth creates complexity. A company with 10 employees does not operate the same way as a company with 100 employees. Communication becomes harder. Decision-making becomes slower. Maintaining culture becomes a challenge. Your job is no longer to solve every problem. Your job is to build leaders who can solve problems without you. At this stage, the entrepreneur begins transforming into a CEO, because building a company requires a different skill set than starting one. And once your company reaches significant scale, your focus shifts from growth alone to creating a lasting organization. Level 5. Successful entrepreneur. Your business has achieved stability. It generates significant revenue. Your brand has recognition. You have built something that works. But success creates a new challenge: protecting what you built. You begin thinking differently. You are no longer only asking, how do we grow faster? You ask, how do we survive for decades? You focus on competitive advantage. Why do customers choose you? What makes your company difficult to replace? You invest in innovation. You strengthen your team. You improve operations. You build stronger financial systems. You may expand through acquisitions, new business lines, or entering international markets. Your decisions become larger. A wrong decision can affect hundreds of employees and thousands of customers. Your responsibility increases. You realize that entrepreneurship is no longer just about creating wealth. It is about creating value, because the strongest companies are not built around money alone. They are built around solving important problems at scale. And when your company becomes large enough that your personal decisions influence an entire organization, you move to the next level. Level 6. Business operator. Your company has become an established organization. You are no longer running a startup. You are managing an ecosystem. Your focus moves towards strategy, leadership, and long-term execution. You build executive teams. You create decision-making frameworks. You develop company culture. You think years ahead instead of months. Your calendar changes. You spend less time creating products and more time making critical decisions. Where should the company invest? Which markets should it enter? Which opportunities should it reject? At this level, discipline becomes more important than creativity, because a large company does not fail because of a lack of ideas. It fails because of poor execution. You benchmark performance. You study competitors. You manage risks. You prepare the company for challenges you cannot predict. Your identity changes. You are no longer simply an entrepreneur. You are an organization builder. And when your influence extends beyond your own company, you enter the next level. Level 7. Industry leader. Your company has become a major player. People in your industry watch your decisions. Competitors respond to your moves. Customers recognize your brand. Your focus expands beyond your own organization. You begin influencing an entire market. You invest in innovation. You support new technologies. You create partnerships with other major organizations. Your decisions can create new trends. You are no longer just competing inside the industry. You are helping shape where the industry goes. At this level, relationships become extremely valuable. You work with investors, government leaders, industry experts, other founders. Your network becomes an advantage because opportunities are often created through relationships. But leadership at this scale comes with responsibility. Every decision affects employees, customers, partners, and communities. The entrepreneur becomes more than a business owner. They become a force that influences the future. And beyond this level is where entrepreneurship reaches its highest scale. Level 8. Global entrepreneur. Your company operates across countries. Millions of customers interact with what you created. Your decisions influence markets, industries, and economies. At this level, entrepreneurship is no longer about building one successful company. It is about building an enduring legacy. You think in decades. You invest in innovation that may not produce immediate returns. You create systems that continue operating without you. Your focus moves from personal success to global impact. You build organizations that create jobs. You develop technologies that change industries. You solve problems that affect millions of people. At this level, capital, talent, and opportunity come toward you, but the challenge is different. The question is no longer, can you build something successful? The question becomes, what will you build that lasts? Because the greatest entrepreneurs are not remembered only for the money they created. They are remembered for the problems they solved, the industries they changed, and the impact they left behind. The journey begins with a simple idea, but every level requires a different mindset. The beginner learns to start, the builder learns to grow, the leader learns to scale, and the greatest entrepreneurs learn how to create something that continues long after they are gone.